O'Donnell is not in the best interest of our great country. I'm giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship. She is a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her. God bless America. With that, let's welcome in our political panelists now. Tim Phillips, Director of Government Affairs and Global Strategies for Nestpoint. Angie Wong is here, Chairwoman of the Capitol Hill Fight Club PAC. Welcome to you both, and thanks for coming on. So I was talking with Mark, actually, ahead of this segment, clarifying that a president cannot strip an American of their citizenship.
We talked to Judge Napolitano this morning on Wake Up America. He's like, you can't do it. He's like, if you are a natural-born citizen, which we believe she was born in New York, and so automatically is an American citizen, or even if you even get American citizenship later, unless that application was fraud, once you're a citizen, it can't be stripped from you.
So despite maybe his comments there on Truth Social, Tim, what do you think overall of this back and forth again between Rosie O'Donnell and Donald Trump?
Well, take President Trump seriously, but not always literally. He has a sense of humor. He has a sense of rhetorical flourish. I suspect that's the case here. But here's the relevant point. This president has been attacked more than any president in American history. Multiple assassination attempts. He's been shot at and hit. He has faced weaponization from every agency of government. He is not going to put up with all these attacks, especially the ones that are filled with lies and innuendo. So he does hit back, and I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, so Rosie just not obviously ending this. She goes on to react to what President Trump said, saying, quote, "The president of the USA has always hated the fact that I see him for who he is, in her words, criminal con man, sexual abusing liar out to harm our nation, to serve himself. That is why I moved to Ireland. He is a dangerous, old, soulless man with dementia who lacks empathy, compassion, and basic humanity. I stand in direct opposition to all that he represents. So do millions of others." She goes on to say, "You're going to deport all who stand against your evil tendencies. You're a bad joke who can't form a coherent sentence. Hashtag never Trump." I mean, obviously, when it's somebody who's not funny and can't tell a good joke, it'd be Rosie O'Donnell. Angie, I mean, come on.
We all see what Rosie O'Donnell really is as well. Remember, she called us a terrorist nation, and she keeps spilling, awful things about anti-Trump stuff, anti-American stuff. Maybe she doesn't actually want to be an American citizen. Maybe she can withdraw her own citizenship. Clearly, she's not here anymore. She doesn't pay American taxes, not all the way anyway. So do we even need her? This is classic Trump owning the media again. Look, the left for 4 years had no problems canceling conservatives. But when we cancel them, it's like, oh, we can't do that. They're clutching their pearls. So, take a little bit of your own medicine. Leave.
Yeah, well, every time she's out there, I think it does better for Donald Trump.
I know, but at least if you want to give her credit,
right.
She said she was going to leave if Trump won, and she actually did. How many others out there refuse to leave this great nation despite who's in the White House? Let's move on to this now. What's happening out in California also somewhat involves the vice president. We've seen some protesters and even California Governor Gavin Newsom calling out Vice President J.D. Vance after he and his family visited the Disneyland resort this weekend. So Newsom shared a video of J.D. Vance and his family at the theme park, writing, "Hope you enjoy your family time, J.D. Vance. The families you're tearing apart certainly won't." And just the latest update here, Tim, J.D. Vance did respond, quote tweeted that post saying, "Had a great time. Thanks." Of course, this is all in reference to the ongoing immigration rates that we've seen, specifically across Southern California. But your thoughts here on this online interaction?
Apparently, Governor Newsom thinks that it will help his campaign with the leftist Democrats to literally defend child labor at pot facilities from ICE agents moving in to protect these children who apparently were being exploited, forced to work. Again, child labor. If that's what wins a Democrat nomination these days for president, and it very well might, by the way, good for Governor Newsom. And J.D. Vance and his family, God bless them. Go out there and enjoy life. You're doing a great job as vice president for this country. Go have fun with the children and your wife, and don't worry about these leftist nut jobs. And he's not. He is out there serving the country, and yes, taking a day or two with his kids, and good for him.
Yeah, I want to switch now to the other favorite poster child of the left, New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. reportedly being accused of defamation, defaming President Trump. The outspoken Congresswoman squad member making inflammatory comments on social media referencing the 2023 civil trial against Trump by accuser E. Jean Carroll. AOC's attack coming amid controversy over the Department of Justice's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case. Trump supporters, legal experts think AOC better lawyer up after those comments. Many on social media encouraging the president to sue the Congresswoman. Some critics referencing ABC's $15 million lawsuit settlement with Trump after a similar characterization by George Stephanopoulos. One legal analyst posting, the president should sue AOC into bankruptcy. I realize she's trying to raise her profile, but this is way too far. I believe AOC originally referred to him as a rapist, which would be a criminal, not a civil finding. Angie?
That's right. No, AOC should learn from George Stephanopoulos and the ABC suit, where they had to pay the president's presidential library $15+ million in damages. Look, let's go, AOC. The only thing I would warn about the president here is that she is trying to raise her profile. She knows that this gets people jived up on her side, and she's going to probably be able to raise more money and fundraise more based on these lies. A great state to sue for defamation is New York, but it is a very high bar since they're both public figures. You couldn't get more public than Donald Trump. So, yeah, he may want to leave this one alone, but, no doubt the trolling between these two will keep going on and on and on. They're just fueling each other.
I don't really see Trump as being one usually to let things go, but an AOC wing of his library would be epic trolling.
Yeah.
That would be. Angie makes a great point. This is a high bar. Obviously, we're talking about public figures here, and I believe you've got to look at the specific language in the tweet, if it was calling out an individual or the implication, right? Sometimes when you get into the weeds of those things. Appreciate you both coming on. Dynamic conversation. Tim Phillips, Angie Wong, thank you so much.
Thanks
Absolutely.
so much.
All right, take care.